Imagine discovering that a government agency you've never heard of somehow appeared in national conversations, met with diplomats, and was reportedly linked to a 1.3 billion naira budget allocation. Then imagine the presidency saying the agency was never legally established, while the man at the center of the story insists everything was legitimate. So what really happened? This is the story of the PFIPC controversy, the ghost agency saga that has captured Nigeria's attention, dragged in a chief of staff, the police, the DSS, and even the National Assembly's budget process. Let's get into it. In late 2025, a strange name began circulating in government circles: the Presidential Foreign Intervention Promotion Council, or PFIPC, sometimes paired with a second name, the Presidential Economic Advisory Council, or PEAC. According to the Presidency, concerns first surfaced in October 2025 after the Nigerian Investment Promotion Commission, NIPC, complained that another organization appeared to be operating at cross purposes with it, doing things that looked like NIPC's job, but from an office nobody in government could account for. What made this explosive wasn't just the confusion, it was the scale. Reports would later reveal the council had been listed in Nigeria's 2026 Appropriation Act with a budgetary allocation of roughly 1.3 billion naira, broken down as about 803 million naira for personnel costs, 200 million naira for overhead, and 300 million naira for capital projects. An agency the government says never legally existed, appearing in the federal budget. That contradiction is what pulled this story out of bureaucratic obscurity and into national headlines. At the center of the story is a man who calls himself Prince Adeniyi Adeyemi. What's publicly documented, Adeyemi presented himself to the public and reportedly to government offices, including the Office of the Accountant General of the Federation, OAGF, as the Director General of the PFIPC. He held himself out publicly as a presidential appointee, sought official recognition from government financial institutions, and, according to documents that later surfaced, the Office of the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, OSGF, approved a trip for him to attend the Canada-Africa FinTech Summit in August 2025, representing the Council. On paper, the PFIPC was said to be about promoting foreign investment intervention, sitting somewhere in the same lane as bodies like NIPC. The paired name, PEAC, suggested a broader economic advisory role. Here's where the confusion comes in. Nigeria already has established, legally recognized institutions doing investment promotion and economic advisory work. So when a new, unfamiliar name started showing up, attending events, seeking diplomatic cooperation, and reportedly working with staff deployed from the OAGF, people in and outside government didn't know whether this was a new official arm, a rebranded existing body, or something else entirely. The presidency's answer ultimately was blunt. According to officials, the council was never legally created, and no appointment was ever made under that name. Separately, the Office of the Accountant General of the Federation has denied that a Central Bank of Nigeria account was ever successfully opened for the council, saying no public funds were ever released to it, even though it appeared in the budget. Adeyemi has not gone quiet. He has continued to deny wrongdoing, insisting that his appointment was sanctioned by Chief of Staff Femi Gbajabiamila himself. He has publicly accused Gbajabiamila of giving contradictory statements about whether the PFIPC and PEAC existed, and has called for an independent investigation into both bodies, arguing that if the councils were truly fictitious from day one, there should be a clear explanation for how they ended up with staff, budget lines, and diplomatic paperwork attached to them. It's worth being precise here. This is Adeyemi's stated position, disputed by the presidency and untested in court. The matter remains before the Federal High Court, with Adeyemi expected to appear again on July 27th. Civil society groups like SERAP have called on the National Assembly to release documents showing exactly how the 1.3 billion naira allocation made it into the 2026 Appropriation Act in the first place. Others, including opposition figures, have framed it as part of a broader pattern of governance concerns, while the presidency maintains this is a clear-cut fraud case now properly before the courts. We're not going to speculate on motives or draw conclusions the courts haven't reached, but the questions this story has forced into the open about budget transparency, institutional gatekeeping, and how far one unverified claim of appointment can travel through the system are questions worth Nigerians continuing to ask, regardless of how the Adeyemi case itself is resolved. Here's what we know. A council called the PFIPC, also referenced as PEAC, appeared in Nigeria's federal budget with an allocation of roughly 1.3 billion naira. The presidency says it was never legally established and has charged Prince Adeniyi Adeyemi with forgery, impersonation, and fraud. Adeyemi says his appointment was sanctioned by the Chief of Staff and is demanding an independent investigation. What remains unresolved? How the council ended up in official budget documents and received government staff support if it never existed. The full extent of who else, if anyone, was involved, and whether the recent arrest of Adeyemi's father was lawful. As of this video, the case is still before the Federal High Court in Abuja, with Adeyemi due back in court on July 27th. We'll be watching how this develops and we'll update you when it does.